Okay, how's everybody doing today? My name's Kent, and I want to make a video today. I want to talk about a few things that I've been thinking about. So, beautiful day here, especially for a guy like me, because I can't surf the big waves. And today's really low wave kind of day. So I'll let you take a look at the waves today. So there you go. That's what it looks like when there's no surfers out there. Usually there's a lot of surfers out there, but today, like I say, short waves. There's not much to ride at all. But see, for me, that's perfect. That's about what I can do. So I want to talk a little bit today about, I think we're all in trouble. I think we're in big trouble. And I don't want to say that this is an immediate alarm, because it's been going off for a long time. I've known about the way things have gone financially for a number of years. I think since the late 90s, I kind of knew the gig was up. You know, once I learned about the Federal Reserve System, in a book called Creature from Jekyll Island by G. Edward Griffin, I knew that the game was over. I knew that the US dollar wasn't going to last forever. And I knew at one point that we probably all, I didn't know exactly how it was going to happen, but I knew it would collapse. I knew it was going to collapse 40 years ago. You know, anybody that has any kind of sense about economics and how things work, you know it's going to collapse. You just can't run a system where money is just created out of nothing, and you got more dollars chasing the things that we need every day. Used to be when I was a kid, if you had $1 million, you had a lot of money. In fact, I remember being in an entrepreneurship class at the University of Nebraska, and we were talking about business. And this one kid that was in our class, his dad had a trucking company, and he said, he did a presentation. We're all supposed to do a presentation in this class, and he said his dad was worth $1 million from his trucking company. And we were all in shock. Man, this guy's dad's worth $1 million? I mean, this is the late 1970s. And we thought, this guy's rich, $1 million. Well, now, I don't think $1 million, if you had $1 million worth of income right now, or not income, but if you had $1 million net worth, you wouldn't even hardly rank. I mean, that's a paltry amount of money here in Southern California right now, is $1 million. It wouldn't buy you a decent home, I'll tell you that right now, especially close to the beach. You're looking at probably close to $2 million. So what happened? Did these houses all of a sudden get nicer, or did the money get worth less? Well, the money got worth a whole lot less. You know, there was a time in this United States of America, probably late 40s, clear into the early 70s, where a person could go out, get a job, and make a living, and buy a home, raise a family, and really not have to, you know, work too hard at it. You know, maybe just, I always make this, my wife's uncle who worked at a shoe store selling shoes, and this is late 40s, all the way through the 50s and 60s, was able to be quite a prominent citizen in this community by being a shoe salesman. And he didn't even own the shoe business. He just was a salesman of the shoe business. But he bought a home, raised a family, was a member of all the different clubs and societies in that area. And, you know, like I say, a pretty prominent guy for just having a job as a shoe salesman. You couldn't do that today. If you had a job as a shoe salesman, you'd be lucky if you could even afford a room. And I don't think you'd even afford a room. You'd probably be homeless. So we have taken a vast majority of our citizens in the United States, and we've turned them into really a class of people that can't even afford anything. You know, the dream of being an American when I was growing up is doing better than your parents. Well, now nobody does as well as the past generations, especially if you don't do anything spectacular. What I mean by spectacular is even the people with jobs these days are always looking for side hustles. I watch enough of the YouTube stuff saying, you know, that if you don't create some sort of side income, you got to have a tremendous job. And even if you have a tremendous job, those jobs generally don't end up being enough for you to live on the way you want to live. So you have to do something else. You have to do a side hustle. Got to do social media, YouTube, you know, maybe something else, sell some other products. I don't know what you do. But, you know, that's what you got to do in today's world. You don't just get to do one thing now. Now you got to multitask and do several things. So that's the world we live in. And I'm afraid that something may break. I don't know what, but something may break. I listen to a lot of these economists, and they're just sounding more and more pessimistic every day. And everybody's sounding more like, you know, things just aren't adding up, and one of these days there's just going to be something happen. And if I had to make a guess, what's going to happen, it's just going to be to the point where people are going to have to live on some sort of a government stipend, universal basic income kind of a situation. And you're not going to have anything. You're just going to live off of a government subsidy, because what's going to happen is it's going to get too expensive for everybody. I don't even care how much money you make. Like I say, when I was a kid, millionaires were lots of money. Today it's billionaires, and there's more and more of them every day. I mean, at one point, first time I ever heard somebody having worth $1 billion, it was like, wow, that's crazy. I guarantee you got Elon Musk at about 250 billion. There's not going to be too much longer, and there'll be trillionaires, and then there'll be quadrillionaires, and everything else will just keep going up and up and up, because it's just to the point now where it's just too expensive, and everything gets getting more and more expensive. So you're just going to look to the point where everything's going to get inflated away, where houses, instead of being worth $500,000-600,000, will be worth $5 or $6 million. And I'm not talking about nice houses, I'm talking about everyday ordinary houses. People won't have savings accounts because everything's going to be used up to pay for groceries and utilities, of which have gone up tremendously here in Southern California. I mean, a year ago, I think my utilities were half as much as they are today. My water's gone up, the electricity's gone up, everything's gone up. So these are tough times, and people don't even realize it. We may be going through tougher times, and it may happen pretty quickly. Like I say, something may break, but it's not going to collapse all at once. It's going to collapse gently, so that it's like what happened in Nazi Germany. First they came for these people, then they came for these people, then they came from these people. At the end, they came for you. So it could be just something like that, where you just slowly have the lower groups of people, the people that can't afford a home today, they kind of get moved off someplace, and somebody else comes along. So eventually, basically, everybody just ends up having a problem, and everybody ends up being in some sort of compromised situation. That's what I see happening. So basically, what they'll do is just inflate money to the point where no one can afford anything, and money basically becomes worthless. And we're getting pretty close to that right now. I mean, $1,000 in today's world isn't hardly any money. Used to be $1,000 was a lot of money. Today it's hardly any money, especially here in Southern California. So I know that's not the best news in the world. Most people don't want to think about how they're going to survive, this massive amount of inflation that we're dealing with. But it is what it is, and people will figure it out. And obviously, one of the ways to figure it out is Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's got a locked-in supply, 21 million to ever be minted. So that is an option for a lot of people, if you can come up with the money to buy the Bitcoin. Because if you don't have any money to pay your bills, pay your housing, and everything like that, how are you going to come up with some money to put in Bitcoin? So Bitcoin is one option. In fact, I was watching today this guy is a big YouTuber. He's thinking about selling his home to buy Bitcoin. I've heard people do that before. In fact, back in 2020, there's this guy called Da Vinci. If you watch Bitcoin videos, you'll see him. He sold his home in 2020 to buy Bitcoin. And I remember watching the video when he said he was getting ready to sell his home. And he was going, I really like my home. I don't want to sell my home, but I see an opportunity with Bitcoin. So he sold his home and probably bought Bitcoin for around $5,000. Well, it went up to over $60,000, almost $70,000, almost to where it's at right now. It's almost identical during that run. So if his house is worth very much money, he made some pretty good money. And I've seen him more recently on YouTube, so he's done well. So maybe people will start doing that. Maybe they'll start selling their real estate, because at some point, you can't continue to have these houses go any higher. Right now, it's to the point where no working person could buy a house in Southern California. The only way you can buy a house in Southern California is if you've already owned a home that you sold and you're just reinvesting. But if you're coming to the market for the first time, it's not doable. I mean, you're going to have to come up with $2 million and 20% down. I mean, that's $400,000, almost $500,000 to get in the house. And then you're going to have, $20,000 mortgage. Those are the kind of numbers you're looking at if you're going to buy something right into the market, and then pay a pretty stiff interest rate. So that's kind of where we're at. So things are definitely going to have to change, or things are going to start going sideways and downhill very quickly. So that's the news for today. Anyway, what I'd like to do is probably start doing one of these videos every day. It kind of helps me focus and keeps me on track and get one thing at least accomplished every day. would just make a video. And back at like when I was doing the EOS videos every day. I appreciate you watching. Thank you.